Eagle fans, do you feel that? Dallas Cowboys fans, do you hear that? Do you feel it, Eagle fans? The Eagles are coming to double moonwalk daddy. Still the cowboy, Mr. McLean. You Americans are all alike. But this time, John Wayne doesn't walk into the sunset with Grace Kelly. Scary Cooper, asshole. Oh shit! Oh shit! That was crazy! Happy trails, Hans. Dallas still stinks. Yo everybody, do K-Dig here, and you know, I'm still very heartbroken about the Sixers. I am not gonna lie. But at least the Eagles continue to get better and better, and they look like they are ready to make a real run. Now, you all know by now that today the Eagles signed guard Stefan Wisniewski. They bring him back. I love this move. I have a video that I did earlier today on it. The first part of it, the volume was out. So I had to repeat the part I'm repeating right now and doing right now where I have glasses on. Now, the reason I have glasses on, just to let you know real quick, is because all the pictures and videos Bad Dog has been sending me, you know, they're disgusting. Well, anyways, my eye must be allergic to Bad Dog's feet and the pictures of it. And then my right eye is like all red and irritated. It looks disgusting. So I'm going to take my glasses off to show you and see the damage that this NASA employee's feet can do. I'm going to show you, and then we're going to get into the rest of the video where you're going to see the eyes fine. But anyways, look at this thing. This thing is just all killing me, man. It's itching. I can't see out of it. It's just, I got to get some more drops. It's killing me. Anyways, so the Eagles bring back Stefan Wisniewski. Now, this is a huge signing in my opinion. We know what Wisniewski is. I'm surprised he came back because I thought there were problems last year that he had with the Eagles. He felt that he was blamed for some games where he didn't play good. I think they had benched him for a while. I think he visited the Jets too. But in the end of the day, he comes back and signs with the Eagles, and I think that the Eagles are so exciting because this is a huge move. Now, after they signed Zach Brown, I said the biggest hole, and this was just a couple days ago, so the biggest hole in this team is the depth on the interior line. You have Brooks, who is out. I don't know when he's going to be back. Some people say, oh, by the start of the season. Some people say, no, later. I don't know when. But you need somebody there. They were talking about putting Pryor at that position. We heard Doug Peterson start talking about how they're cross-training guys like Big V and Jordan Mailata to be able to play guard and tackle. So you definitely needed depth at that interior offensive line, at the guard spot. And bringing back Wisniewski brings back a solid guard that can play on both sides and really help this team. I love this move. I love this move. I'm glad that he is back. And I got to tell you, the Eagles are having, in my opinion, one of the best off seasons out of any team in the NFL. And it hasn't been flashy, and it hasn't been all these super headlines and those kind of things, but they've done a lot of little things, a lot of not really actually little, but a lot of decent things that maybe haven't got all the attention that maybe they deserve. I mean, you start with getting Deshaun Jackson. You needed a speed wide receiver. You bring back Deshaun Jackson. Now that garnered a lot of headlines, primarily because it was Deshaun Jackson coming back to Philly. So you understand that. Okay, so they bring him back, really fill a big hole in my opinion. One of the biggest holes that they needed. Speed on the outside. Then they turn around and free agency starts, and we're all going, wait a second, why are they not even going after any of these running backs? Well, it turns out, simply, the Eagles were working on a trade for Jordan Howard for a while. It took a while to work out. They bring him back, vastly upgrading, your running back position from 2018. I mean, we lost something last year when Ajayi got hurt. It really hurt us. Guy like Ajayi with 2 bad knees coming back from an ACL. It was hard to say you could count on him to come back this year and be the running back you need. But Jordan Howard can do it. He can really fill that kind of role of a LeGarrette Blount. I think I see Jordan Howard as a cross between a Blount and Ajayi. I think he can be kind of both guys. Okay, so you get him. That really helps your run game. So now you got your outside receiver, you got a running game, and then the Eagles go to work on their defensive line. They bolster it. They bring Malik Jackson in, which they needed to do. Then they go and they bring Vinny Curry back. Now he's not going to be a super sack guy and all those things, but what he does is he provides good depth in the rotation, plays the run well. You know what you get. He's going to give you 110%, and to be part of that defensive line rotation is great. Then you get Timmy Jernigan back, who we lost. I thought he was never going to come back, but you get him. So now you got him and Jackson to go along with Fletcher Cox. The defensive line looks fantastic. I think this defensive line is one of the deepest defensive lines in the NFL, and they're scary. They should be able to provide constant rush, constant pressure on a quarterback. And then you lose Jordan Hicks, your middle linebacker. We're all wondering, what are they going to do at linebacker? You know, I'm sitting there telling you, well, they don't value linebacker. That's just the way it's been, and it's very true. If you look at the recent 10, 15 years of Eagles history, they really don't. Okay? So they go into the draft and basically they draft nobody, no linebackers. But then they sign Zach Brown. Zach Brown, to me, is an upgrade to Jordan Hicks. So they bring him in, and now you've upgraded your linebacker position as far as I'm concerned. Because why? Because he's better than Jordan Hicks. Jordan Hicks is hurt too much. This guy constantly is a tackling machine. He's always like top 2, 3 in tackles over the last few years. Zach Brown was a great pickup for the Eagles. And then you look at like the secondary situation. They brought in a couple safeties, Countess and Dejo, right, to work into that rotation. Then you have you're going to get Jalen Mills back. You're going to have guys like Avonte Maddox, LeBlanc, Sidney Jones, all coming in to another year. And I think that secondary, those young guys playing together for a few years, I think they're going to all make a big difference. I really do. You get McLeod back at safety, which should help. And then, of course, you have Jenkins, who's steadfast defensive player on that team, one of the defensive leaders. And when you look at this team, they are good across the board. They are deep across the board. They draft Miles Sanders. Perfect complement for Jordan Howard as a rookie. And to me, I think he'll be your franchise back for years and years to come. I like Miles Sanders that much. I like Miles Sanders so much that I think he's going to take over and be the primary back by about week 9 next year. I'm not saying that as a slight on Jordan Howard. I just think Miles Sanders is a guy that can do it all, is just really, really talented. So, I mean, you know, and then you bring in Whiteside at the wide receiver position. You're going to get Mac Hollins back. You still have Aguilar. I mean, this team, they're deep across the board. They are deep and they are talented. And I think that the free agency signing of Wisniewski to provide depth on that interior line tells me the Eagles know exactly what to do. You know, they know speed wide receiver, we needed one. We needed a running back, we needed one. We needed to bolster that defensive line. They did it. We needed another linebacker. They did it. Everything they needed to do, they have done it. And they haven't done it with signing some huge guy or making some huge trade or investing all this money at one person. They've done it really, really smart. And I think this team is set to be a definite NFC contender. The Eagles are deep across the board. They're good. And if Carson Wentz can stay healthy, that's the key to this season. But if he can stay healthy, the Eagles are going to go. They're going to Super Bowl as far as I'm concerned. But they are at least a top 3 contender to get to the Super Bowl out of the NFC. This team is good, and this Wisniewski signing is huge in my opinion because it gives us depth. It gives us depth on that interior line, which we needed. And, you know, that was one of the things when we lost Wisniewski and he became free agent, is we lost depth at the offensive line. Well, now he's back. Now we got it back. And I'm very excited about this team. I am super excited about this team. I think that Howie Roseman may have done a better job in 2019 offseason than he did leading up to that 2017 offseason where they got Alshon and they got guys like that and brought them in. I think this has been a fantastic, phenomenal offseason for the Philadelphia Eagles. And getting Wisniewski right now is just... it's icing on the cake because now we have some legitimate depth on the offensive line, and I think that's important. So I'm very excited to have Wisniewski back. I'm very excited what Howie Roseman, Joe Douglas have done. And look, football can't come soon enough right now, but when it does, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting to see. We just need some health, and we need Carson to stay healthy. And if we get that, get ready because it's going to be a fun ride. Wisniewski, welcome back to Philly. With that said, take care, talk to you later, and don't be a dingbat.